man. The way he took out Anthony Joshua.
I know.
Yeah, Jake wants to fight Anthony Joshua now.
I know that I will beat Anthony Joshua's.
Said he wants to fight Anthony Joshua in 2026.
And the haters online are like, yeah, do it.
Well, they're like, what about now?
Yeah.
They're like, what about fight him now? He's like, no, I want to wait till 2026. I'm like, okay.
To put on weight?
Put all the steroids. Every steroid
Whatever.
they have.
I would watch.
Snake
Here's
venom,
the thing. I would watch
venom.
it.
Oh, by the way,
Scorpion venom.
Rollo reached out to me, John Rollo, my boy, and he sells this blue scorpion. He wants to get you some, Gordon.
I'll have some.
All right, I'll have him send you some.
I'll
take
take
quadruple doses. Like
yeah,
we'll see what happens. I'm gonna start slow. I want to find out if I get poisoned.
Yeah, just.
What are we doing? We're drinking venom from scorpions.
That is weird.
That's weird. He's got the dopest.
Anthony Joshua has reacted strongly to Jake Paul after new allegations surface about his possible use of performance-enhancing drugs, PEDs. Joe Rogan suggested that Jake might want to gain extra weight and possibly use steroids before facing Joshua. Jake, however, has stated that he plans to fight AJ in 2026, not in 2025, sparking further speculation about his preparation and potential physical changes.
And maybe if you could let me in on some of that, whatever, I don't know, the special stuff that you might be taking. I don't know.
This nigga looks like a hot pocket, bro. Everyone says he be doing type of PEDs, and I'll be in a crib.
Yeah, bro. Like, there's
hell
no
nah.
way. Whatever stuff I'm taking ain't working, bro.
Actually, like, what do you think it is that about Jake that makes people say that he's on something? Like, what like, is it just the fact that he's progressed so much in the sport?
Like, I don't know why I couldn't put any weight on, and you were able to put on, you said 230?
I can gain weight so easy.
This is why Jake Paul is on PEDs. Within this past year, Jake Paul has literally hit a second puberty and aged like 10 years. Furthermore, he has acne and his hairline is receding like crazy. And people like Jake Paul are going to the best skin doctors in the world and probably are taking hair loss products that aren't even approved for the rest of us. Now, I'm not saying that Jake Paul necessarily took a steroid to make him look bigger, but he's definitely taking something that allows him to recover faster. That way he's able to train more and get better at boxing quickly.
One of the biggest debates in boxing right now is whether Jake Paul is using PEDs. Fans and analysts have pointed out how Jake's size and speed have increased at an unnatural rate. His rapid physical transformation, especially in such a short time, has raised concerns, particularly as he continues to defeat experienced professional fighters despite only having a few years of boxing experience.
And maybe if you could let me in on some of that, whatever, I don't know, the special stuff that you might be taking. I don't know. No, I'm just messing with you.
This nigga looks like a hot pocket, bro. Everyone says he be doing type of PEDs, and I'll be in a crib.
Yeah, bro. Like, there's
hell
no
nah.
way. Whatever stuff I'm taking ain't working, bro.
He has a terrible build, bro. If he was taking shit.
Observer Paul isn't just calling out Anthony Joshua. He's also challenged Alex Pereira, the former UFC champion. This move has shocked many in the combat sports world because Pereira is known for his knockout power and striking ability, while Jake's confidence is clear. Many believe he might be overestimating himself by targeting such high-level fighters.
All of Jake Paul's power is coming from those PEDs that he's injecting. He has all this acne. Oh, his chin grew, or he's all red. These are all signs.
I see all those allegations all the time, but I need to see the evidence.
Up until we're provided with evidence that he is taking PEDs, and I'm not going to accuse him of that.
Is there a possibility that he's taking PEDs? Of course there is. But you can't just see his body transformation and completely say with 100% certainty that he's taking PEDs.
Boxing. Observers have noted some changes in Jake's appearance, including acne, looking older, and noticeable shifts in his physique. His belly, which was once not well defined, has now become more sculpted and muscular. These rapid changes have led some to suspect that he might be using PEDs to gain an unfair advantage in the ring.
Those little bumps you had on your face kind of alarmed me. You wouldn't be happening to taking PEDs, are you?
Listen, if you want to build in excuses right now,
No, I'm just
go
asking.
ahead.
Because I was just wondering. I
Go
looked at
ahead.
your face, it looked kind of serious. You had some rage and you acting all unorthodox. You know, those are signs of the PEDs.
I'm enraged. I'm not enraged at all.
Are you taking PEDs?
No, sir.
Not at all. Okay.
No, sir.
That's what I feel like. I don't care. You better.
Boxing fans have questioned how Jake Paul has been able to defeat professional fighters after only 4 years of training. Traditionally, boxers spend a lifetime honing their skills before competing at the highest level. Some believe Jake's fast improvement comes from hard work, while others suspect something unnatural may be helping him along the way.
Once I'm slightly older, I'm basically gonna drink tequila and intermittent fast.
What's Jake Paul gonna look like after his boxing career?
People think I do steroids and all this shit, so I have a plan because I think it's bizarre. That's like the only excuse they can come up with is like rigged fights. Jake Paul does steroids. So after boxing, I'm gonna do a cycle of steroids to show people what Jake Paul on steroids actually looks like, because I want to shut people the up.
Sports. Jake Paul has responded to these allegations in a recent interview, calling them bizarre. He explained that his transformation is due to hard work, proper nutrition, and intense training, not steroids. Despite his explanation, there's still skepticism, especially from boxing purists who doubt his credibility.
As a boxing purist, it doesn't sit well, but as a normal working class lad, I've been asked by builders, would you fight Jake Paul for £5 million? I never got £5 million for fighting anyone else in a fight, so it's the silliest question in the world. I've been retired 7 years. I'm still very confident. If you give me 3 weeks to get off the couch, I'll probably still beat him with one hand. It's not. Yeah. He's not a good fighter, so it's not even being disrespectful to him. As a YouTuber, as a presenter in what he does, he blows me out the water. That's his line of work. But he's stepping into boxing, another profession. Now, to call the likes of Canelo out, I think is disrespectful. To call Anthony Joshua out is lunacy. But we know why it's happening and why he does it.
Forget Jake Paul. Forget Jake
Paul. A lot of tickets.
Paul. I mean, Jake Paul's going to do what Jake Paul does, but Anthony Joshua, and with respect to you and what you did and didn't earn in your career, Anthony Joshua is out at King's ransom.
Yeah.
So he doesn't need to be fiddled with this, does he?
Yeah. No, he doesn't. But again, all I keep seeing from people out there is, when is enough? And I get that. But when you're retired at 33, 34, and you've got to make that last now, you've got more experience than me in this, dealing with a lot of footballers in the past as well, and business people who have to make a certain amount of budget last. It's the easiest money you'll probably ever make.
Sports analyst Simon Jordan weighed in on Jake Paul's boxing journey, calling it unusual and unrealistic. He believes that transitioning from being a YouTuber to challenging legends like Anthony Joshua and Canelo Alvarez doesn't sit well with traditional boxing fans. While Jake has brought some entertainment to the sport, many argue that he hasn't earned the right to face elite-level boxers.
To give a little opinion on everything I've been seeing on social media lately, Jake Paul versus Anthony Joshua. Just wanted to come in here and remind everybody that bum couldn't beat me when I basically had a broken hand. I had one hand and he still lost. Jake Paul, I'm still your daddy, and everybody weighing this fight up, don't bother, because he ain't worth a shilling. And the loss will always be there, Mr. Paul. Take it easy and have a good day.
Gareth A. Tommy Fury, who defeated Jake Paul in their last fight, shared his thoughts on Paul's ambitions. Fury revealed that he fought Jake with a broken hand and still won. Now Jake wants to face Anthony Joshua, a much more experienced and powerful fighter. Fury suggests that Jake's challenge might be more about publicity than an actual competitive fight.
I'm not sure Anthony Joshua's going to play the game like everyone else, and it could be fairly calamitous, I think, if Joshua stepped into a ring with Jake Paul, but we're going to watch it because we want to see Jake Paul get knocked the F out. We do. Everyone wants to see it. I mean, I've even said it to him. I was looking forward to Mike Tyson him knocking the fuck out. Doesn't surprise me. He's looking for the biggest names out there, and it just shows that he's prepared to put himself on the line to promote himself.
Would it be more competitive than the Ngannou fight, in your opinion, or less?
That's a very good analogy. It's a very good comparison. Much less competitive. I mean, I think it's got to be at that level of exhibition bout. I think it's a very dangerous fight for Jake Paul. Very dangerous. He's probably got one chance to try and counterpunch. And if he catches Joshua, he might do something, but I see that as a 100% win for Anthony Joshua.
He emphasized Gareth A. Davies talked about a potential fight between Jake Paul and Anthony Joshua, noting that Jake could earn around $50 million from the fight. He pointed out the significant size and power differences, with Joshua standing at 6 feet 7 inches and much heavier than Jake, who is 6 feet 2 inches.
I want to fight Anthony Joshua
exclusive because I know that I will.
I'm so sorry for my English, but I have to. See, Jake Paul does lots of good things. He has a camp for kids where he, I guess, gives training and coaching and gloves and environment for kids in Puerto Rico. He helped lots of boxers to get the bigger purse than they deserve. He has done some good things. And you are kind of trying to be on his side, but then he says something like that. Like, you almost are on his side, and then he says, I want to fight Anthony Joshua and Canelo at the same night or whatever. Jake, fighting Anthony Joshua and Canelo is not fighting Tyron Woodley or 60 years old Mike Tyson with Alzheimer's. Anthony Joshua is able to literally kill you. No doubt. If his mission is to kill you on the ring, he will kill you. You lost against Tommy Fury. Tommy Fury won against you. What Anthony Joshua? What Canelo, my friend? Canelo, you would need the liver replacement after Canelo fight. I promise you. I don't know. So stop doing that shit. Do the good things you are doing, and we will be on your side. Just stop saying crazy shit like this.
Davies also highlighted Joshua's knockout power, comparing it to a mule kick. He acknowledged that Joshua has had struggles against skilled fighters, but still believes the fight would attract huge interest and be a spectacle for fans. Despite bringing in big paydays, Jake Paul has often been disrespectful toward boxing legends.
Once the belts were finally out of my possession, which I was expecting to win, it just kind of tore me apart. And that's raw emotion live on your screen. Obviously, looking back, could I have dealt with things better? Yeah, of course. But at the time, that wasn't the priority. It was just outpour of emotion.
There are so many athletes we're seeing across gymnastics, cricket, rugby and football that have taken time out of their sport to deal with their mental health before coming back in. Did you at any point in that period think, I need to take an extended break away from boxing before coming back in?
It wasn't the fact I needed to take a break. You know what it was? I actually watched a lot of fighters, they've taken time out of the game for those reasons as well. And I think, okay, if they've done it, I should be doing it. But I got to look at myself as an individual. And what it is, I feel like if I take time out, I'm letting everyone catch up. And I want to be ahead of the game.
Jake often uses trash talk and social media callouts to provoke fighters, including Anthony Joshua. While this creates hype for his fights, many boxing fans question whether Jake truly respects the sport. Unlike Jake, Anthony Joshua has faced some of the best boxers in history. One of his toughest challenges was against Alexander Usyk, who defeated Joshua twice, showing that even elite heavyweights can struggle against world-class fighters. This raises further doubts about Jake's chances against Joshua.
You have got to be taking the mick. Jake Paul has called out Anthony Joshua and claims, I will fucking beat Anthony Joshua's ass. You know what? I want this to happen, just so Anthony Joshua could just absolutely decimate this man right here. So first he fights Tommy Fury, a legitimate professional boxer, and he loses. Then he fights an OAP and Mike Tyson and beats him. Obviously, he's nearly 60 years old. Then he goes to try and fight Canelo, which fell through, thankfully. Then he tried to fight Tank Davis, which again fell through. And now he wants to fight Anthony Joshua, a legit world-level heavyweight boxer. Anthony Joshua is someone that I've always looked up to and probably one of my favourite boxers to this day and age. Don't get me wrong, I don't mind Jake Paul here and there, but there's just things he does in the sport that I don't agree with at all. And fighting Anthony Joshua, listen, I'm all here for it, just to see him get knocked clean out. The fact that he thinks he can compete with these high-level boxers, even though he lost to Tommy Fury, is just laughable. But how long does it take for Anthony Joshua to knock Jake Paul out? I'm saying 5 seconds.
One of the biggest criticisms of Jake Paul calling out Anthony Joshua is that he already lost to Tommy Fury, who is still relatively inexperienced in professional boxing. If Jake struggled against Fury, many believe it's unrealistic for him to expect to compete with a world-class fighter like Joshua. This has led some to think that Jake's challenge is more about gaining attention than being a serious attempt to fight top-level competition.
You think McGregor's done?
I think he has to come back and fight, but he needs to win.
Will he fight you?
I don't think he will. I think my skill level is outgrowing his in boxing, and I have the height advantage. He can't beat me, and I think he probably knows that. And time, he's only getting older, and I'm only getting better.
Jake Paul's ambitions aren't just limited to boxing. He has also expressed interest in fighting UFC superstar Conor McGregor. Jake believes that while his boxing skills are improving, McGregor's decline due to age and inactivity makes him an easier target. By calling out McGregor, Jake continues a strategy of targeting big names to gain exposure in the combat sports world.
Tank Davis versus Jake Paul exhibition match was going to take place after the Lamont Roach fight until Tank drew with Roach, leading to a rematch. Now, I'm going to say the unpopular opinion here, but the size difference would have been way too much. I mean, even if Tank brought Jake down to 190 or 200 pounds, he would have still been way too big. I mean, no matter how good a lightweight is, they would have almost no chance against a cruiserweight or heavyweight ranked top 200 in his division. And I'm sure people are going to bring up Floyd Mayweather versus Logan Paul, but Logan is just not a good boxer relative to Jake. You know, Jake's been training for a couple years, he's had over 10 pro fights, and Mayweather was also junior middleweight in this fight, not a lightweight like Tank. But that being said, I'm glad Tank and Jake isn't happening. You know, it would have been a fun spectacle, but I'm not the biggest fan of the exhibition stuff. And instead now Tank and Roach will be rematching in June. You know, the first fight did a little over 260,000 pay-per-view buys, which isn't bad in this market. Roach absolutely deserves a second fight, so I do think the rematch will do far more numbers. And as for Jake, I want to see him fight big-name boxers around his weight class. You know, the Tommy Fury rematch, for example, he's undefeated. The first fight did a little over 800,000 pay-per-view buys. He's around the same age range, so that's the fight I want to see, not the exhibitions. But let me know what you guys think.
That's it for today's video. Stay tuned, and we'll catch you next time.